Welcome back guys, my name is Angelo. Have you ever wondered how your income and net worth compares to others in your age group? Today we'll take a look at several European countries, as there are obviously many differences depending on where you are based. You may be interested to find out where you currently stand compared to the median in your country, your age group, or all of Europe in general. This is going to be an exciting video, and even I learned a lot while researching this topic. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Starting with a short explanation of why the median is a lot more relevant than the average when looking at these numbers. That's because the average includes outliers which can skew results significantly and doesn't really give you the right picture. For example, let's say you have 100 people at a conference with most of them earning 30,000 euros per year. Now Apple CEO Tim Cook joins, who has been making about 93 billion euros per year on average. All of a sudden, the average salary in the room jumps by over 30x from 30,000 to 960,000 per person. Obviously, that's far from reality. The outlier, in this case Tim Cook, heavily influences the average, but the reality is the large majority of the people in the room still make 30,000 euros per year. The median takes this into account by sorting every income at the conference and picking what's exactly in the middle, so where 50% earn less and 50% earn more, ending up with 30,000 euros in our simplified example. As a result, because of its resilience to extreme values in either direction, the median offers a more accurate representation of income data, and I'll be using it wherever possible in today's video. Okay, now that we got some basics out of the way, let's look at some numbers, beginning with the median net income by age group across Europe. I removed some outliers like Switzerland and Luxembourg in this analysis, by the way, just to make sure we don't get depressed by how little we make in comparison. Here we're looking at the median net income by country in euros for the first age group 18 to 24, from 2019 to 2022 according to Eurostat. As we can see, median yearly income after taxes at this age was at 17,800 euros in the EU and about 19,900 euros in the euro area. I was kind of surprised to see my home country Austria with the second highest median income in this age bracket after Ireland, to be honest. The next age bracket Eurostat provides us with is 25 to 49 years of age, so sadly a much longer time period. Across the EU, residents now earn a median income of 19,900 euros and 22,400 euros in the euro area. Now Denmark comes out on top of this list. Then we have the age bracket 55 to 64, with median net income rising one last time to 21,500 euros per year in the EU and 23,600 euros in the euro area. And lastly, residents aged 65 years and older, where income starts to drop again, to a median of 17,300 euros in the EU and 19,300 euros in the euro area. I was also able to find data on Germany from 2019 across age groups in much smaller increments of 5 years. Just keep in mind, what you'll see here is gross income, and since taxes and social insurance payments in Germany are quite high, you have to deduct about 30 to 40% to get to the net income numbers for the year. Also, this data shows the average, not the median. Anyway, on average, German residents start with a yearly gross income of 30,100 euros at age 20, which grows significantly to 55,600 euros by age 40, and then slows down a bit, peaking at over 58,000 euros pre-tax between the age of 50 to 60. At the bottom, it also shows the average across all age groups of 50,300 euros, with a more recent 2022 paper by Stepstone showing a much more relevant median of 44,000 euros per year of pre-tax income across all age groups, or about 28,500 euros net after taxes and social insurance in Germany according to online calculators. But what about part-time versus full-time work? And are there differences in income between men and women? Let's take a look at what Statistics Austria reports about my home country Austria. According to this report, the median gross monthly income in 2021 was 3,050 euros per employee across both genders, which translates to a net monthly income of 2,200 euros after taxes and social insurance in Austria. Male full-time employees earned a median of 2,600 euros per month, 13% more compared to full-time female employees who earn 2,300 euros. But when it comes to part-time work, the situation is flipped, with women earning a 10% higher median of 1,430 euros compared to 1,303 euros for men. Across all employees, the difference becomes more pronounced, with men earning a 36% higher median of 2,522 euros after taxes compared to only 1,848 euros per month. That's because a lot more women choose to work part-time in Austria compared to men, either to have more time to raise their kids or for other reasons. In fact, as of 2022, as much as 50.7% of all female employees were only working part-time here, compared to 12.6% of men. Before we move on to the next category, since I know you're going to ask, here's where I currently stand in comparison. I've been about 30% above the median for my age group of 25 to 49 according to Eurostat, and about 17% above the median for male full-time employees for the past 2 years in Austria. 2023 might turn out even better, but let's see. Still, since I'm self-employed, my income fluctuates a lot, and when I started, I was actually below my age group's median for several years in a row. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to gently tap the like button and to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, if you'd like to support me, you can find my links to the best low-cost brokers in Europe my wife and I use to buy ETFs down below in the description. Okay, now let's take a look at savings rates on a household level across Europe. Just so you know what I'm talking about, the savings rate is how much of the monthly or yearly income someone is able to save after all expenses. So if you're earning 2,000 euros per month after tax and you're able to save 300 euros, that would be a savings rate of 15%, for example. To find out the current household savings rates for Europe, we once again need to go back to Eurostat. Yes, it's not the prettiest website, but that's what we got for these numbers. Here's the seasonally adjusted savings rate on a quarterly basis. Based on the latest available data for Q1 2023, households in the EU are saving 13.34% of their income on average, with German households having the highest savings rate at 20% and Poland having the lowest one in this dataset at only 5.2% on average. But don't feel bad if you're based in Poland. At only 3.5% according to its latest data, the US is doing even worse in comparison. As for my wife and I, due to our low living expenses, our savings rate has been close to 70% for several years now, which is how we've been able to get closer and closer to our goal of retiring early one day. This means we currently have about 5 times the median household savings rate in Austria according to Eurostat. Alright, now it's getting interesting. Let's talk about net worth or wealth, meaning the value of everything you own, so cash, assets like real estate or ETFs, minus liabilities, for example, a loan you still have to pay back. Starting with some data I found on wealth on a household level in Germany, sorted by the age of the person with a higher income. Here it is for 2018. Below 30, the median net worth sits at only 5,000 euros, jumps to 17,800 from 30 to 34, 45,800 euros from 35 to 39, 87,200 from age 40 to 44, 105,000 from 45 to 49, 115,100 from 50 to 54, 121,900 euros from 55 to 59, before decreasing a bit to 120,500, and 117,400 euros in the following 10 years, and then surprisingly peaking at 129,600 euros at age 70 to 74. Meanwhile, here's the amount of wealth a household needs to accumulate to be part of the richest 10% in Germany. 71,300 euros below 30, 202,200 euros by age 34, and ultimately peaking at 625,400 euros between the age of 55 to 59. While my wife and I live in Austria, it's still motivating to see that we're already doing better than the top 10% in Germany in the 35 to 39 year range, even though I'm 33 and she's only 30 years old. For us, it really paid off that we started our pursuit of financial independence almost 7 years ago. You can find my favorite investment tools linked down below in the description, by the way, which is a great way to support me if you'd like to. Now, I was also able to find some numbers on France for 2018, where people seem to be wealthier compared to Germany on average, starting with a median net worth of 12,700 euros below the age of 30, 51,400 from 30 to 39 years, 106,600 euros from 40 to 49, 171,500 from 50 to 59, and peaking at 194,300 euros between the age of 60 to 69. In case you're interested in the other numbers on screen, the left column shows the average, which is influenced by outliers with very high or low income, and the 2 columns on the right show the lowest 10% and the highest 10% of net worth for each age group. Some more interesting findings from this dataset are that the median household wealth in France was 117,000 euros overall, with the top 10%'s net worth being 549,600 euros and the bottom 10% having less than 2,600 euros to their name across all age groups. Now let's look at 2021 data for the Netherlands, another above average European country as far as income is concerned. Here we can see the median wealth on top for different age groups as well as household debt, which has been subtracted from assets to calculate net worth. One aspect that stood out to me is that in Dutch households with a main breadwinner that's up to 25 years old, median net worth is actually negative at minus 14,000 euros, both due to mortgage debt as well as higher education costs in the country, while the median peaks at 205,000 euros in households where the main breadwinner is a lot older, between 65 to 75. I also found some estimates for a Eurozone as a whole in French for 2018, which I translated using ChatGPT to make things a bit easier. Let's check them out. According to these numbers, the median household wealth in the Eurozone across all ages was around 100,100 euros, while the bottom 10% of households only had 1,000 euros, and the top 10% of households had as much as 552,500 euros in average wealth. I was actually surprised to see that the median household in countries like Spain and Italy had a significantly higher net worth compared to Finland, Austria, Germany and the Netherlands. Also, you can probably tell why I excluded Luxembourg so far today. A 505,000 median and 1.9 million euro average for the top 10% is just ridiculously high in comparison. But now I want to hear from you guys. Are you currently above or below the median net income in your country or the EU in your age group? And how does your household savings rate and net worth compare to the median? Let me know in the comments below. Only if you're willing to share, of course. No need to feel bad or ashamed if you're below it, by the way. That's not why I made this video. I would use it as extra motivation instead. I was well below my country's median as well for many years. First, because of 6 months of obligatory underpaid military work I had to do in Austria. And then because I spent a lot of time getting a university degree in international business administration, which I didn't really end up using since I ended up working in IT and online marketing instead. And once I decided to go down the route of self-employment, it again took me a few years to reach and ultimately surpass the median income others were earning at my age. Luckily, due to our low living expenses, I was able to take this risk, and as of today at 33, I'm earning quite a bit more than I would likely have been able to make at my previous company as an employee. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a bit more context on myself since I compared the numbers to my own net income, net worth and savings rate throughout the video. By the way, sorry if your home country wasn't included in some of the statistics. I had a limited data set to work with and I didn't want to overwhelm you by making this video too long, so I ended up mostly focusing on the Euro area, more specifically Central and Western Europe. Still, let me know if you liked the video as much as I enjoyed researching it by tapping the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, if you'd like to support me, feel free to use my links in the description below to the best low-cost brokers in Europe, as well as other investment tools I use. Thank you guys so much for watching, have an amazing week and until next time.